a dangerous spiritual story I remember is I was in Springfield. I was shotgunning it with an elder who had just barely got off his training, so I was his follow-up trainer. His name was Elder Gehring. Love that kid to death. He and I were shotgunning an area. We were probably 2 or 3 weeks into the transfer, and we were just going door to door basically. And then we got a text of a referral that was asking for a Book of Mormon, so we tried dropping it off, wasn't there. Left our number, and we're starting to bike away because we realized we were needing to get back to our apartment so our dinner could pick us up for that evening. And there was a guy who was just walking up the street and called us over and wanted to talk to us. And we're like, oh, cool, this is, a guy sought us out, wants to talk to us, like he recognizes us, this will be cool. And he goes, here, come off to the side for a minute. And just the way he said that and the way he was carrying himself, I looked at Elder Gehring, he looked at me, and a sudden sense of uneasement. I was very uneasy at the time. So I was a little cautious, still figured, you know what, let's give this guy a try. He may not be so sketchy as he looks. See if we can talk to him for a quick 5 minutes and get out of here. Pulled off to the side into someone's driveway, and come to find out he was a preacher of some, I think it was like a Baptist church or something like that, and he just started ripping into us. He started bashing us left and right. Different doctrines about Joseph Smith was an imposter, Book of Mormon's false. It was a piece of crap. It was, just everything he could possibly throw at us, he did. And my companion and I just stood there on our bikes and just took it, and it was as if somebody spiritually was punching me in the face, in the gut, and was just taking my testimony and just tearing it apart. And it hurt. It was bad. Finally got a text from our dinner that they were there at our apartment, which fortunately was only about 5 minutes away. So while the gentleman was talking to Elder Gehring, my companion, I texted him back and told him that we would be there. And as I'm texting, I'm praying in my mind. I'm like, please let us be able to get away from this guy. If we could talk to him for 30 seconds and give him our number, that'd be great, but I'm not even holding my breath for that. Heavenly Father, please let us get away from him. And so we finally were able to just segue away from him, and I kind of turned back, and he just kind of stood there, looked up at the sky, and I could tell he was kind of grinning, and I was like, he thinks he beat us, and he didn't, which on the inside, I'm like, I feel like he just beat me up spiritually. So we got to our dinner, and for the rest of the night, that was all I could really think. We had a couple lessons, and they went decently, but my mind and my spirit was just like you take a towel and you just wrench it, and that's how my spirit felt. I just felt wrenched, and I couldn't do anything. So we finally came home that night to our apartment and got ready for bed, and I just sat on the couch, and I just couldn't. It was bad. I couldn't do a thing. Elder Gehring, bless his heart, came over, sat next to me, and he said, are you okay? And I said, I don't know. And I about cried. And he said, what can I do? I said, I don't know. And he goes, what happened? So I referred back to that situation earlier with that guy. So we kind of talked about it a little bit, and as missionaries would do sometimes with your lessons, you beforehand obviously prepare the lesson, you go through the lesson, and then when you leave, you talk about how the lesson went, what went well, what to do again so that people can feel the Spirit and whatnot, but then also what went bad and what to change and what to do over and to fix so that you become a better missionary and that you help your companion to be a better missionary. So we went over that a little bit for a few minutes, but then I finally just said, Elder Gehring, I just need a moment by myself. He goes, okay, I'll go to bed. So he went to bed. It was probably about 9:30. He went to bed a little early, and I just sat there, and I'm like, what do I do? And the Spirit spoke to me. It was the same Spirit that I remembered and felt as I remember sitting in my living room with my family just hanging out. That told me that I knew the Book of Mormon was true. The Spirit said, you need to read the Book of Mormon now. So I grabbed my scriptures, And I just started reading. I don't even remember where I read. I don't remember what I read. But I do remember, just reading and feeling that peace, that same peace that came over me, and knowing that the church was true, that same peace came back to me. And I felt my spirit lift. I felt better. And I came in, and Elder Gearing goes, "You okay?" As he smiled at me, and I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he goes, "You look better. You look like yourself now." And I said, "Thanks." So we said a prayer and thanked Heavenly Father for the day as usual, and went to bed. And it was that was an intense evening. So you might end up having some intense evenings like that. You might have some bashings, you might have some brawls verbally with some brothers and sisters. Try not to get into that, because it can tear your soul, and it can tear their soul, their spirit, their testimony. If anything, build on their testimony, build on yours, have common ground, and if you can, get to sacred ground of the gospel. If you can't, the Spirit will let you know, and just let it be. Just know that they're not ready yet, and just to carry on and find the people that Heavenly Father's prepared for you.